Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to another Chamber Check-In episode from Idaho's only 5-star accredited chamber. Today we have Evan Bask and Zoe Brunel with us to educate the listeners and me about the Idaho Non-Profit Center and the upcoming Idaho Gives Day. I'm going to bring them on the stage here. Hi, Evan.
Hello, Paul. Good morning.
And Zoe.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Zoe.
Hi. Good morning.
Hey, thanks for carving out some time this Friday morning, this beautiful spring day. Before we got on going live, we're really excited about spring, right? And a little warmer weather. Zoe and I were talking a little bit before about it's a little cooler than we thought this morning, but really excited about the weekend and with family and friends. And today, really excited to help share the powerful organization that the Idaho Non-Profit Center is, especially the program of Idaho Gives Day. Evan and Zoe, this program started in 2020 to feature members, their stories, their products, their services, but most importantly, the people. So why don't we start with you, Evan? Tell us a little bit about your background and history of work that led you to the Idaho Non-Profit Center.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, Paul, thank you so much for having me this morning. We're really excited about this opportunity. Hi, everybody. My name is Evan Bask. I am the Philanthropic Impact Director at the Idaho Nonprofit Center / the Idaho Community Foundation. But I've been here with the Nonprofit Center for almost 9 years now. And in August, it'll be 9 years. I'm originally from the Seattle area and came over here for Boise State, so go Broncos. And just absolutely fell in love with the community, fell in love with all of the people here, fell in love with the city of Boise and the state of Idaho, and have just really enjoyed my time here so far.
Hey, thanks, Evan. We are thankful to have you part of the Nonprofit Center and as well as a steward of the program of Idaho Gives Day. So Zoe, tell us a little bit about your background. You're relatively new with the Nonprofit Center and spend a long time in healthcare.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Paul. I have recently joined the Idaho Community Foundation in the new year as the VP of Advancement, and I come with a long and extensive development career. So I spent 13 years at the St. Luke's Health Foundation, and prior to that was in New York City doing fundraising for independent schools. So I have a big love for fundraising, for development, and for getting to know the philanthropic folks in our communities around Idaho. So this job has been a dream come true. I get to know the whole state and all of the wonderful people in it. And I'm thrilled to be here to talk about Idaho Gives today.
All right. So bringing us all together at the coffee table here. For those that don't know what the Idaho Nonprofit Center is, and if you don't know, this is a great opportunity to chime in and learn. So Evan, why don't you start off with your history of almost a decade with the Nonprofit Center. Tell us a little bit about the origin story of the organization, kind of its mission and vision.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So our organization was founded in 2001, and really because there were so many nonprofits in our state doing great work, but kind of felt like they needed some direction. They needed an organization that could kind of help lead the sector as a whole. So the Idaho Nonprofit Center was founded with the thought of creating some cohesion along the nonprofit sector, but also providing resources and education specifically to nonprofit center professionals and also their board members as well. So we do a lot of educational programming to the nonprofit sector, teaching how to be a good fundraiser, how to be a good board member, what should your nonprofit finances look like, really anything under the sun that nonprofits could be in need of. And then we also do a lot of advocacy on behalf of the sector. So both during the legislative season, but also through programs like Idaho Gives that are really built to uplift the nonprofit sector and increase the awareness of all the great things that nonprofits do.
Wow. That rolled off your tongue like you knew you were talking about.
Not my first time.
So Zoe, as a relatively new member to the Nonprofit Center, tell us kind of what your thoughts are on the mission and vision.
Well, great question. And I think I wanted to take one step back quickly and share the merger that took place between the Idaho Community Foundation and the Idaho Non-Profit Center that happened in November 2024 to bring these two amazing statewide organizations together. The mission for the Community Foundation is working with donors and generous folks in our communities across the state to provide funds that they then grant out to those nonprofits that Evan and her team support at the Nonprofit Center. So there was a real clear cohesion between these two groups. The leadership at the time thought it was a great idea to bring them together and had full board support. And now we are working as one organization. So what's really exciting for me as a fundraiser and as someone who has participated in Idaho Gives in the past is to get to look under the hood and see how it all comes together and how it works. And just the incredible support that the Idaho Nonprofit Center staff provides to these nonprofits and to the donors that come through and provide these millions and millions of dollars. And I think the most exciting thing for the Nonprofit Center is to see the resources that are strengthening nonprofits. Our goal, any donor that works with me, I want them to know that the dollars that they're giving to a nonprofit, that nonprofit's going to be around for a long time. It's going to be strong. It's going to be healthy. And the resources that the Idaho Nonprofit Center provide really enrich that and make that possible. So we can look at the nonprofits around our communities and say, these are really great places to invest in, and we want to make them as strong and as successful as they can be.
Zoe, I'm so glad you brought up the recent collaboration between the two organizations. And I got to tell you, looking at the website, and I'll put that on the screen here in a little bit, the caliber of leadership amongst the board, as well as the founders and the current team is incredible. It's the who's who of the entire state's leadership from across all industry sectors, across every community across the state. I don't know how an organization pulls that type of team together. Maybe Evan, give us, maybe enhance that a little bit.
Yeah.
How incredible and genuine the passion of your team is.
Oh, thank you so much, Paul. First off, we appreciate your kind words. But yeah, we were really intentional with how we formed our board. Definitely wanting to make sure that we have, as the Idaho Community Foundation and the Idaho Nonprofit Center, we need statewide representation, right? We need the whole state coming together to really being able to advocate for what their community needs. We've also been really intentional, as you were saying, with getting different leaders from different buckets of our community, both elected officials or the for-profit sector. How can we kind of blend together all of the needs of the sector and have all of these skill sets come to the table? So we're very grateful for all of the dedication from all of our board members and our staff members. A lot of these folks too serve on multiple boards. They're very ingrained in the nonprofit sector, and they really see the benefit of investing at that kind of 30,000-foot level to support the nonprofits in Idaho.
Zoe, what would you add?
Well, I think that was a great summary. And I recently learned we have regional councils that support our grant making. Local is everything. I've known that my whole time living in Idaho, and how strong Idahoans feel about their local community. So the Idaho Community Foundation has put a lot of emphasis on ensuring, like you said, that we have representation from around the state. Our regional councils, which are the groups that make local grant making through pooled grants, we now have representation from every county in Idaho on those regional councils. This is not just a throwaway effort. This is something that is really, really thought through and really intentional, because we want to say that we represent Idaho as a statewide Idaho organization.
Well, I'll be the first to say and echo what Kevin always tells us, Kevin Bailey, that Idaho runs on nonprofits.
I'm actually wearing a shirt today that says Idaho runs on nonprofits.
That's awesome. Which is true, right? I think Idaho's probably got an elevated amount of nonprofit organizations per capita for a state like Idaho and its size. I think that's incredible. And I love the fact that the Idaho Community Foundation and the Idaho Nonprofit Center have joined forces, just even elevate it more. All right. Thanks, Evan. Thanks, Zoe, for telling us a little bit about the two organizations, what the Idaho Nonprofit Center's mission, vision, and resources and services are. I want to take some time and talk about one of the funnest events during spring, and it's Idaho Gives Day. So the overview, right, is Idaho Gives is a program of the Idaho Nonprofit Center and powered by ICCU. And Idaho Gives is designed to bring the state together, raising money and awareness for Idaho nonprofits. This is it used to be a day, and now it's been so popular. It gives people another opportunity to give when they're available. And the event begins April 28th through May 1st. I'm not going to steal your thunder anymore, but Evan, you've been part of the launching of Idaho Gives. Tell us a little bit about, for those that don't know, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first off, Idaho Gives is one of my favorite all-time events. And you're right, as we were talking about Idaho runs on nonprofits, you really can't go more than a city block without seeing, Boise Contemporary Theater and the ballet and opera, up to Bogus Basin or enjoying the rivers that we preserve and the land that a lot of organizations take good care of. So it's kind of our opportunity to say, hey, Idaho, look at all of the amazing work that is going on across the state. And here's how you can give back to the organizations that are doing so much for our community. The website is idahogives.org. We try to make it as easy as possible to go on there to search. You can search by city, you can search by causes. The donation amount is at a minimum of $10, all the way up to as much as you would like. And we essentially just try to create the platform so that new Idahoans or current Idahoans can search for causes they already care about, or they can find new ones to search. When you go online and make a donation, it goes straight to that organization. And about 94% of our donors cover all of those credit card fees, which are pretty typical. You'll see that on every platform, but really generous folks that are going on there and making sure that 100% of their donation is going straight to those organizations.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite days, and I'm excited to help with the ceremonial ribbon cutting for the final day, for that final push. I like how y'all did that. Zoe, as your first year as an employee of the Idaho Community Foundation Nonprofit Center and this program, tell us about what you're feeling and the excitement that you're bringing and what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, thank you for asking. And like I said, it's fun to get to see all the work that goes on behind the scenes to put this event together. And I'm really inspired as someone who's participated in the past, both as a donor and as an organizer, to get to participate in Idaho Gives in this way this year. I think what's really special, I'm a longtime believer that every dollar makes a difference. And this is like crowdfunding at its best, right? We get to see everyone participate at the level that they can. You'll get some huge donations. You'll get some small donations. It is whatever people feel that they can do, but together we make a huge difference. And that's such a powerful experience to be a part of. I encourage everyone, whether you're currently philanthropic or not, to find an organization that you think you'd like to support and, participate in this just to be a part of it, because together last year they raised $4.3 million. That is no small feat, and that is no small amount of money. And for many of these nonprofits, like you said, Paul, we have an exorbitant number of nonprofits in Idaho, a really wonderful thing. So for some of them, this day makes a difference in their operating budget and what they can achieve for their constituents, in the months to come. So just go and look for those little ones. It's really exciting to hear some of the stats from Evan that how many new donors are finding new organizations every year. That's something that was really inspiring to me, that you could go in and find an organization you didn't even know existed because of the Idaho Gives platform, because a nonprofit is signed up on this platform.
Okay. I learn something new every time I do these. So thanks for educating me more. Evan and Zoe, are there opportunities for nonprofits that aren't involved yet to get signed up?
Yeah, definitely. We're just wrapping up our registration process, but if you are listening right now and really, really eager to participate, feel free to reach out to us at info@idahogives.org. We would love to talk to you more about either participating next year or what this year or what next year could look like. But we have lots of opportunities for organizations, individuals, or companies to get involved this year. Again, this is kind of our opportunity to uplift all nonprofits, so we would love your help in helping spread the word. Post on social media about it, share with your friends and family. We've also seen some really cool opportunities where folks will give, $10 to their child and say, here's the opportunity, what causes do you care about? And kind of watching their philanthropic wheels turn as they're thinking through, oh, I really love animals. Let's search through animals and let's read about, the zoo, or let's read about a shelter. So just kind of being a part of that culture of giving. We love to see that happening and continuing to grow.
Okay, I'm going to do that, Evan, with my kids. That's a great idea.
Let's do. It's fun. Some of them might take a little bit of time to search through and kind of get to learn. But yeah, Kevin, our at the Community Foundation, he does that every year with his kids, and he's always so surprised at which ones they give. They were like, "Oh, I didn't know you were passionate about, this specific area, but okay, let's do it."
Educating our future philanthropists.
That's right.
I love
Absolutely.
it. Okay, I want to make sure we covered everything. We talked about Non-Profit Center, the Community Foundation, a little bit about you two, the Idaho Gives Day. Launched in 2013. It's raised nearly how many million?
Just over $20 million throughout its lifetime. Yeah, it completely exploded when I first started working here. We were just reaching over $1 million and so excited. And now our goal this year is 4.65 million.
Okay, incredible. Everybody who wants to be a part of it, hey, April 28th, it kicks off. You can go to idahogives.org to look through all the different nonprofits that have signed up. Again, give early, give often. Help celebrate with us on May 1st, as we'll be cutting a ribbon for the final push. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. On May 1st from 8:30 to 9:30, we will be at Cafe Anna's Kitchen downtown and really just celebrating the last day of giving. So we would love to have any community members, corporations, nonprofits, friends, families all come down to celebrate this day. We'll also be pulling some prizes. So throughout Idaho Gives, we have award pool prizes that nonprofits can participate in. And this year, the Boise Chamber is a sponsor of one of our prizes. So if you're a nonprofit and you're participating in Idaho Gives and you're a chamber member, or if you're interested in becoming a chamber member, you get entered into winning additional $250 prizes. So we're excited for that opportunity too.
Okay, awesome. Thanks both of you for the work that you do and for your investment in the community as well as the chamber. It means a lot to us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you so much. This has been great.
Stay tuned for next week as we feature the president and CEO of Solve. I don't know if you know Tressa McLaughlin, but they're celebrating 50 years as a business. So I'll get to feature them on next week's podcast here. And then remember to like and share our YouTube channel. And thanks again, you two, for all you do. Say hello to your entire team. Tell Kevin, have a great weekend. Happy Easter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
See you all soon.
Bye.